ActionSA is launching its 2024 election manifesto today in Hammanskraal outside Pretoria. The party will be contesting the general election for the very first time. Our reporter Ziniko Mhlaba is standing by, Ziniko, to speak to some of those officials in terms of what to expect from proceedings today.
Yes, Juju, we are in Hammanskraal, north of Pretoria. That's where ActionSA, a party founded and led by Hammanskraal and various other leaders from other parties, mostly from the Democratic Alliance. Well, after contesting elections for the first time at the local government elections in 2021, the party believes now that it's ready to contest the general elections, which talks to the issues of province and also the National Assembly itself. So we'll see how the party will fare itself. So, as I said, that I'm in Hammanskraal, north of Pretoria. That's where, the party is embarking on launching its election manifesto. We know that the party has been very vocal when it comes to issues of corruption, when it comes to issues, of protecting or securing our borders. But the issue of poverty as well has been making headlines, has been being featured in the policy documents of ActionSA. So we're expecting Mr. Hammanskraal to come and address the crowd here at about midday today. But let's get a sense of the importance of this manifesto launch. We are joined now by Athol Trollip, whom we know very well from his previous political party, the Democratic Alliance, but now he's leading ActionSA as the chairperson in the Eastern Cape, one of the very much contested provinces in South Africa. We know that the ANC has a very strong hold of that, but let's get a sense of whether the ActionSA party is ready to unseat ANC strongholds, provinces such as the Eastern Cape and KZN. Mr. Trollip, thank you very much for your time. A very important milestone for the party. Talk to us about what is it that ActionSA is going to do differently in terms of contesting the space?
Well, first of all, let me just say that it is my dream that we can actually reduce the ANC's power in the Eastern Cape and get them out of power. Because, it breaks my heart when I come to an event like this up in the northern provinces. There are people from the Eastern Cape everywhere looking for greener pastures, trying to get a job because they've had to leave the Eastern Cape. So that's my main objective. Secondly, what is unique about this party is that we come from all different political parties. I heard you just saying now that I was with another party for 38 years. It was a long time, it was a lifetime. But what brings us together is that we've had enough of what's going on in South Africa. And that's a massive mobilizing force. And today we're launching our campaign here. We've had a policy conference. We're now telling South Africans, with this underdog that is being called a small party, we're not a small party, we're a new party. We're represented in every single province. We've got structures in every region right across this country. But we're launching here at Kharamotse, where Hammanskraal grew up. And I find the symbolism quite amazing because it shows that it doesn't matter how humble your beginnings are, whether you're an individual who can rise above that and become a really successful business person and a leader of a party. Even this political party has risen out of humble beginnings. But we're going to show South Africans that this is a party that people can vote for because it's a different option. We are different to other parties.
Mr. Trollip, the issue of policies, you are not offering something new that people have not talked about. When you talk about corruption, talk about economic inclusion, especially for previously disadvantaged people. So what is it that you're going to do differently in terms of what you're promising people in terms of policies, especially when it comes to corruption, when it comes to making sure that communities are all included in the economic activities of the country? What are you going to do differently?
Well, first of all, we're very proud that our leader has got no skeletons in his cupboard. Okay? So the problem in this country is that all the political parties, there are skeletons there. We have no skeletons in our closet. Hammanskraal was the mayor of Johannesburg. I was the mayor of Nelson Mandela. We've not been implicated in corruption. We are providing something new for South Africans in that whatever we're going to do, we'll do it with ethical leadership. And ethical leadership requires you not to turn a blind eye when your colleagues are doing something that's unacceptable. So that's going to be unique. We won't cover for anybody. We will not turn a blind eye. We expect the highest levels of ethical leadership from our leaders, and we will lead by example in that, and that will make us unique.
So now the issue of political parties being led by very popular individuals. You know that the AFP was very much centered around the late Prince Buthelezi. Julius Malema right now is still the face and very popular amongst the EFF structures. Isn't it that ActionSA is following that same route when it comes to centering its branding around Hammanskraal?
Well, first of all, remember this party was born out of people's dialogue. So he didn't just wake up one morning and start a political party. That makes us different to other parties. He's been the leader of this party for nearly 4 years. Only 4 years. Julius Malema has led his party for 10 years. Chief Mangosuthu Buthelezi for more than 40 years. 4 years is nothing in a political lifespan of a political leader. I know Herman Mashaba. He's not going to stay here forever. He describes this job as a real difficult job that's draining him because he's very, very active. He's all over the place. So I don't see Herman Mashaba being around forever as the leader of this party. Most certainly not. And he's only been the leader for 4 years. So when people are saying he's a big persona in a party, you know what? That's the best endorsement our party can have, that people know who the leader of ActionSA is.
So in terms of provinces, which provinces do you think ActionSA really stands a chance to make a huge impact? I know that you are aiming for all provinces, but realistically, which provinces are you really targeting?
Well, our performance in Gauteng in 2021 is an indication that the ANC will lose Gauteng, and ActionSA will be an integral part of a new government in Gauteng. KwaZulu-Natal, the ANC is teetering, and those 3 provinces are in all likelihood going to be lost to the ANC. So the economic guts of this country will be taken out of the control of the ANC. But where I come from in the Eastern Cape, the ANC has had the highest support levels with the worst performance indicators in this country for too many years. I think the ANC are going to take a terrible pummeling in 2024. I personally want to give them a blood nose, and I'm going to ANC kwipondo lethu yase Eastern Cape, because the Eastern Cape, children are dying of malnutrition in the Eastern Cape, yet we send 800 million rand back to Treasury because we can't spend that money. They are overwhelmed in government.
But what are you offering the people of the Eastern Cape, Limpopo, Free State, the poorest provinces here in terms of solving the poverty problem? What is it that ActionSA is proposing as a lasting solution to eradicating of poverty?
Well, I think that's where our greatest potential lies, because, 53% of the electorate did not vote in the last election because there wasn't a political party that they saw was fit for them to support. We're offering them an option. Now, I've seen the uptake in my province in the last 19 months has been astounding. The number of branches we've built, the number of members we've signed up. It took me years, 16 years in the DA, to have representation in every single region and every single town in the Eastern Cape. We have now got.
But how are we solving the problem? How are we saying the problem of poverty? What are you going to do differently?
The barrier to entry to support political parties other than the ANC is very difficult because our politics is very ethnic and race-based. The barrier to entry for people to vote for ActionSA that looks like this, there's no barrier to entry. And reputations, good reputations of good, honest leadership is what's going to make people vote for ActionSA. And I promise you, you can fight corruption. You can end corruption just through exemplary leadership. And that's what we plan to offer South Africans.
Mr. Trollip, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much for your time.
That's Mr. Trollip. That was the chairperson of the ActionSA in the Eastern Cape, also talking about the importance of ensuring that the party is led by credible leaders who are here in Hammanskraal. The party will be launching its election manifesto for the next general elections, which is 2024. Making very broad and very brave statement. They're saying that, well, the Gauteng province, one of their targeted provinces as far as the plans of governance is concerned, but you'll also talk to some more leaders of the DA as well, probing their policy program, but also checking how is it that they're going to do things differently as far as contesting the country's election perspective and also space.
Ziniko Mhlaba, thank you very much for that report.